developer, and now I'm business system analyst. I am the group leader of this feminine tech group, Trichy. So this is kind of a short introduction about me. My first job is a Salesforce, and I just want to talk about my group purpose and why did we start the group. So as you all know, this is a women in tech group, but we always welcome the both genders, either male or female. Everyone can join because it's a kind of improving our knowledge at the end of the day, right? So I will say the women in technology is always more than just the headline because we used to talk about a lot about women empowerment, women technologies and their skills, their powers, and we want to see women as a leader, etc. But we are not supporting them most of the times, and they are also facing a lot of issues. So the main purpose of this group is to support all the women, and we want to enrich their Salesforce skills because Salesforce is a cutting edge technology today. Many of them may have such a facility to improve their own skills, but many of them don't get it such a chance. So we just want to make them opportunity. Just they want to spend 1 hour with us, and definitely we will support all the women as well as everyone as a Salesforce employee. So we want to make your learning as a fun because we will provide specs and prices, especially because it will really motivate all the participants to learn something new about Salesforce every day. And don't forget to share your learnings and ideas and feedbacks on social media. It will help others to know about this group and this meetup so that no one will miss this kind of meetup. They will also grow some skills in Salesforce. And in chat, I will share this menti.com link. Please click this link and post your ideas. I will give some 5 minutes or 3 minutes of time. So let me post it in a chat. Basha, can you please post the link in the chat?
So, ma'am, before you go ahead, can you mute all other participants so no one can unmute them? Because that will create a disturbance for you as well as for others.
Sorry, do you want to say something about global dev?
No, I was asking like it's better if you mute everyone because no, it will create unnecessary disturbances.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for a suggestion. Okay, we have sent a link in the chat. Kindly please post your ideas, what you want to know about in our upcoming meetups. Okay, everyone is posting, that's good. So it will be really helpful for us to get a suggestion from you all professionals. So it will really motivate us to share our knowledge to every participants. Okay, many of them has entered as LWC. Process builder and integration. I think most people are interested in learning Lightning Web Component. Okay, so let me stop this. I think we got most of the responses. Okay. we will work over these topics in the upcoming meetups. Definitely, we will have those topics in a very interactive way and also in a very innovative way. So it will be really helpful for us. Thanks for sharing your valuable input. Okay, here we go. So this is our speaker, Kamachi Devi Sargunanathan, and she's a leading technical architect in our MST Solutions. So I'm really so thankful for my sponsor. Our company is MST Solutions. So they have already support us a lot, and they are just giving high priority to this meetup. And I'm really thankful for my company. And yeah, Kamachi, you can go ahead. I will stop my sharing.
Thank you, Dharani. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
I'm not able to share the screen. Can you check it?
Yeah, can you please take it now? I just made you as a co-host.
Yeah, now I can.
Thank you.
So, good evening, everyone. This is Kamachi, application architect working in MST for more than 8+ years. And I'm really glad to share this session with you all about the Flow Builder. So I think most of us are very, very excited to go with the low code, right? So let's jump onto the session. So here are the agenda for today. So today our topic is Flow Builder, especially. So the agenda would be like Lightning Flow overview. What is a Flow Builder and some use cases, how to get started the Flow Builder, and how to make the flow look like your Lightning, some settings, and how can you distribute your flow once you developed, right? So let's start from overview. So Lightning Flows. So Lightning Flows is a declarative process automation for all the applications and the portal. We have 2 point and click automation tools there. It is Process Builder and the Flow Builder. So to sum up, Lightning Flow is the name of the product, and Process Builder and the Flow Builder will be name of the tools. So to simplify it, Process Builder will be mostly used for the process making functionalities, and the Flow Builder will be mostly for any design kind of access you can do with the process and make.
Kamachi, sorry for the interruption. Can you make sure that it is in slideshow? Yeah. Thank you.
But used for a Flow Builder to be most useful, like you can automate any visual guided experience. So you can frame any forms, like whatever you do with the customization, you don't want any code, you can go with the flow to build your own user interaction pages or forms. So you can automate the guided visual experience and add more functionality behind the scenes, or only run through the behind the scenes, either through the user interaction or without user interaction. You can do the business process behind the scenes. Say for example, if users click on something, you need to do some actions. So right now, till now, what we've seen is like triggers and most of the workflow actions, right? So now we can go with the Flow Builder also. Let's see how we can utilize the Flow Builder in that way. So here are some of the use cases. So you can create a guided tutorial or a wizard with the screen, because Flow Builder is in the screen components you want most used, like screen, I mean the email, pick list, those components will be pre-built in the flow. You can just drag and drop and use it in your flow designing, right? You don't want to write any code. And again, so set up automated process. So any automated backend process to be done behind the scenes, that can also be done with the flow, not only the screen design. And connect the external system with the flow. How can you do this with the process builder as well as flow builder. Most important thing is you can reuse the flow. So how can we reuse it is with the subflow option. You can save a flow as a subflow, and then you can utilize any number of times wherever you want. Get the everything as a select that encompass the running of the process flows, right? And the builder is the tool that where we will do the point and click setup. Flow is the entire application that we are going to do with the flow builder. We are going to build something, the flow builder, and so what is a button bar? Button bar will illustrate you whether the flow is active or inactive. Have to save it, and then the property setup, everything will be in the button bar. You can also start the debug. You can debug your flow, even like what we do with the code. You can debug your flow with the help of button bar. And you can also see how long the flow was set. Those things will be there, and also you can see the warnings or error message within your design. Like whatever you build in the canvas, the screen components and the connectors, is there any errors or warning? It will be displayed clearly in the button bar. And the canvas. What is the canvas? It's a working area where you build the flow. So you can add a number of elements to the flow canvas and then do the connectors. Let's see while doing the demo. I'll explain clearly. And canvas will always be a visual experience for you, how the flow look like. I mean, how you are going to do the flow. And the toolbox. Toolbox is mainly for the elements and the components that we are going to use for our screen designing. You can do the connectors, variables, and everything can be managed from the manager tab in the toolbox. So all the resources like variables, constants, and some more things are also available. We will see when we look into the flow builder demo. Okay, so the next thing is, so you are seeing about the flow builder, like how can I utilize this as a new recent view? Since the flow is already introduced in 2012, it has the basic classic view earlier. Now we have the look and feel like Lightning. So you can make that setup through the process automation setting. You can enable it through the enable Lightning runtime for flows. So this is the setting. Likewise, there is one more options available in the flow is like you can pause the flow. So when you're doing with a trigger or workflow, any other business process, you cannot pause it and resume any time, right? But with the flow, that's a one more opportunity. You can pause the flow and retain it. Resume it whenever you want. Right. So the same setting will be available in the process automation setting. You need to enable for the pausing users for the flows. So yeah, you are done with the flow builder. So what we need to do, like you can distribute it anyways. There are different ways, several ways available to distribute your flow, either through the action or Lightning page or Lightning components, anywhere you can utilize. Wherever we can do, that is a flow distribution. Once you are built, plan, build, and develop. And once you are done, you can distribute it in several ways. Let's see what are the ways we can do the distribution. Here are the list of places you can do the distribution. They are Lightning pages, flow actions, utility bar, community pages, Lightning components, Visualforce pages, web tabs, custom buttons and links, right? Okay, here we go. Let's see a demo on how to build a flow through the flow builder, how the flow builder will look like, and build a simple flow, distribute it in these ways. The Lightning pages, flow action, utility bar, and community pages. Let me open the flow. So from setup, you can go to flows and then click on new flow. So there are different types of flows available. Either it can be a screen flow. Only screen flow can be the interactive one. The rest of the flow types, right, they cannot be interacted. They can only run through the background. So screen flow, what is screen flow? You can connect all your components and then do the connectors, complete a flow and give it, distribute it to the user. They can interact with that screen flow, but rest of them are not. So let's see one by one. Screen flow, I will show a demo on the screen flow. Let's see the rest ones. Record triggered flow. So record triggered flow is nothing but similarly what we do with the triggers. You can do the assignments like before trigger, right? Either before trigger assignments you can do, or after trigger you can do the some functionalities, some major functionalities we do with the after update or after insert trigger, right? You don't want to write a trigger now, you can just go with the flow. If you are familiar, if you are comfortable with flow, go with the flow. If you are doing assignment, you can use the flow, right? And schedule the trigger flow. So you can also schedule a specific job. We have the schedule job, right? Likewise, we can trigger this flow on specific time period. You can do the batch process here. And also the platform event triggered flow. You can connect to the external system with the platform event or do whatever platform events you want to do, publishing. And then auto launched flows, no trigger. Here also it is a background process. You can do the rest process, like you can connect or trigger any external services from here. You can use the this type of flow. So these are the types. Let's see some other available existing ones. Salesforce also provides some pre-built flows. You can use these as well. You can just go and work over everything. Let me choose one screen flow. So this is this canvas region that we discussed earlier. This is the button bar and this is the toolbox. So canvas area is used for build the components. Like these are the components I can just drag and drop and do create some label and then API name and then create the components and then use it. So those components that we create will be managed through the manager tab. Okay. So what other resource I can do is the variables. So what we do with our code, we will do the declarative sessions, right? Declarative part will be there. You can create a variable and do the assignment and then do the method calls. Same thing can be done in the flow, but you have to do some separate setup earlier used into the screens. You can create a variable, like give the variable name, and if you want to assign, go with the elements assignment, and then from the assignment here you will use the variable. Like if I am going to assign some variable, some value I am giving as an input to in the form to some other object, right? In that case I can assign this. I will show one sample. I'll just explain everything and then show you a sample flow that I have built and explain you clearly. And these are the data components. You can create records with the flow or update a record, get records, delete records. So delete records, get records, or need some condition like ID or some specific condition you can retrieve, right? But update records, you can update specific record. Create record, you can create whatever screen you are providing the user input is, you can get it and then create the records. Okay. So, and you can have the subflow option also, like we already discussed. The flow can be reusable, right? So with this option, you can reuse the flows. So when you're using the subflow, it will ask for the flow. You can choose the flow name and then provide the parameters for the flow, and that's it. So whenever you initiate a flow, there might be some variables, flow variables we will be using here, that is created through the manager tab, and that might be the parameter for your flow, like what we do with the Visualforce or other lightning components, right? We will use a param and then get that ID and do some process, right? Inside the controller. The same thing can be done here as well, but in a different way, slight difference, in a point and click configurable way. So this is the basic on how the flow builder will look like. Let me go to the sample flow that I have. So for the demo today, I have taken employee object. So I have something in the screen. I have a screen. I have 3 screens here, right? So the first screen will be used for collecting the details. So what I'm going to do, I have some component from here, the text component. and also the email, pre-built email component. So this will always have the formatted regex and everything inbuilt. But if it is a text component, it will be like similarly like whatever we declare as a string. So these are the two items I'm going to get. So this component will have the label and API name, and always the flow screen will also have the component like API name for the flow. And you can show the header, footer, you can control all these things. And then the footer also, if you don't want to pass the flow, you can remove this. You can do the control navigation, pass it, previous, next button. If you don't want, you can control from here. And yeah, so let's see one thing on the email. So I gave the API name as EMP email, right? So these are the variable names. Let's see how this can be utilized in the next screen. So if you see the create record component, right? So here, what we need to do, give some name for the create record component and how many records you are going to create. So those things we could handle here. And then which object you are going to create, which object this record is going to be created. I'm choosing employee. And then whatever object you have chosen, right, that field list will be available here. I chosen email as well as name, and then assign the value that I have provided in the screen one. Okay, so those are screen components, I mean flow elements. So I have to assign those values to these record variables and then create the record. That's why I'm using create record. And assigning the ID, whatever created here, right? I am assigning the variable employee ID as the record that is created here, over here. Okay, so this is done. Now, the next screen, what I'm going to do is I have the file upload option also in the screen elements, so I can use it. File upload. I can provide the name, API name for the file upload. Which file you are going to upload the file? This ID, right? Whatever we created right now, that can be provided over here in the related record ID. So that particular record's related list will have this file uploaded once this is done. That's it. Okay, so whenever you are doing some create record or get some records, right, all these data DML operations, you can use the fault screen. Otherwise you cannot handle the errors. You can also handle errors with the flow with the fault message. So flow will have the default message like fault message. In the component in the screen, I have just mentioned that fault message here, flow.fault message. So how can I do? I can place the display text. Here you have the display text option. Once this display text is there, I can just use the default resource from the flow. So once you created the connection between the create record and the screen, second screen, if you do one more connection, then that will be the fault message. Okay. So the same DML screen will have one more connection called fault. You can do that with the fault message screen. And this is the final screen. I just have a display message over here. That's it. So this is the flow. Let's see. This is the button bar. Now, once you create, you can just save it or save as. You can click on save as and create a new flow. It's like a clone of the existing flow. You can take a copy of the flow or create as a new version. So every time when you create a flow, right, you don't need to save it and then you can update it again, because it's similarly like process builder. We cannot have the update directly to the flow. You have to save it as a separate version. In order to avoid that, you can whatever you can do is you can just save it as the flow version, first version, and then do the debug. Once everything is working fine, then you can save it and then activate. Before activating, once you activated, you have to wait for, you can do the update only with the new version. So let's do the debug. I'm clicking on the debug button. So what happened? It will show the whatever variables I used. That means I created, right? These are the variables I created, but I didn't use this, but I use this to assign something. For now, I don't need anything, but if you want to test for particular record, you have something like update record or get record or some other functionality in your flow, you can give the ID and then test it to fetch the existing record. But I don't want to do anything with this now. I'm just running it. So in this flow, this is the first screen I designed here, employee name and the email. So whatever I provide here, I have a fault message. Here employee name is must. I'm not giving that now. So I'm just trying to give email. And click on next. What happened? The fault message, right? It's a handled exception. Whatever exception found, it will be thrown over here. And you can see the debug details also in the right side. And also you can do the run again. So you can do the run again here with the debug screen. Okay, let me go back to the flow builder. Now this is done. This is how you need to debug and make sure everything is working fine. Now let's see these options, like how we can distribute the flow. I am done with the flow. I have saved it. Now how can I distribute it? So this is the home page. I have embedded my flow in the home page. And this is the paused interview. That means I have created something, but I just paused it. I can resume it whenever I need it. So I can resume it or delete it. And this is the utility bar. You can also add this flow in the utility panel. I will show you how to do all these things, but I will just show it. Okay, let's see how to do with the home page. It's like a lightning page. You can edit page and then there are some standard options like flow and then paused flow interviews. I just drag and drop the flows over here. This is how you used to do the lightning pages, right? So that's how I did. And then activate it for the org and the application. So this is the way I used to do the lightning page. The other option what we can do is you can go to the app builder. Application manager. So edit the lightning application and go to the utility items. You can add the utility item and then call the panel width, height, and the flow name. That's it. Your utility bar is ready with the flow. And so this is how it is to run in all the pages in the application. I can use it as a utility panel. You can add it from here. Now, okay. So let's see a demo how the record get inserted from the flow that we built from a community. So this is the community page where I embed my flow that is built right now. I can insert the record so that it will be stored inside the Salesforce. Let me show you the list before I adding from the community. So if I go to the list all records, I see still employee 8, right? So I'm going to add one more record from the community now. So I give next so that the record get inserted, and I'm going to upload the file. It is uploaded, done. And I'm going to, if you want, you can insert one more record also. We have the setting in the flow builder itself to give allow multiple files as true. And then I'm going to give next now. Yeah, that's it. Your completion screen is rendered now. Now that's all. I'm going into Salesforce now to see whether the record is created. Let me refresh refresh the list view. Yeah, here we go. We have the list with the recent record. So this is the record I added now. And if you go to the related list, you will see the employee image with the flow, how we can build and then use it, utilize the flow for our scenario. And if you go to the home page, this is the flow. I just passed it. You can just click on pass to pass it over, and I can resume. So this is the record. I just tried it. That time I didn't proceed, so I can just pass. I can provide some reason for the pass. Okay, so this is how we can do the pass. So at a time, you can have 50,000 passed interviews in your organization. So that is the limit. And yeah, let me show you one of simple example about the REST Explorer, how we can utilize. Where is that flow? Let me check. Employee detail. Yeah, here's the flow. What I have done is I just created this flow as an auto launched flow. And then I have one get record component here. So get record element. So this get record element, how can we use it? We can see, like I have mentioned the object as employee object. And then the condition met is the ID that I'm going to pass through the REST Explorer. So this employee ID, the EMP ID as a variable name. So I will assign this variable through the REST Explorer. I will call this flow. This flow is called, and then it is assigned to this variable. Now that particular record is fetched and then shown over here. Okay, so I can also show whatever fields I want to show in the REST Explorer. So I just added name for now, for example. And if you want to return something null, if that is nothing in the record, you can just add some condition like it is return null. Okay, this can be enabled. Get the record and store it into the employer object. And I can show the name also when I do the REST Explorer. Okay, so when there are no returned response, we can set the value as null. That's what I'm going to do here. Let's go to the workbench. So this is the URL, like action custom flow and then your flow name. This should be your URL for now. I'm going to call the flow. And then request body. I'm going to pass this employee ID. This is EMP5 record. So let's see how that works. So we have one response. So here we go. We fetch the record. The flow is called over here, and then so this is the ID we passed, and the corresponding record is fetched and showed over there. Okay, the flow interview is finished because we don't have anything else. Only these records we fetched and then show it over here. These are the two examples, good example that I can show today. And thank you for your time and patience for listening the session. Hopefully, I think everyone had enjoyed it. That's all from my end. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Kamachi, for your wonderful speech. So we are noting down your questions in the chat. Actually. Shall we go over the questions, Kamachi?
Yeah, sure. I have also provided the reference link, right? If we can share that to the audience.
Okay, yeah, sure. So
There is a trial mix I have provided. If you go through the trial mix, if you are a beginner, it will be really helpful. Or if you want to learn about the flow builder, you can just go through the trial mix.
yeah. So one person asked that whether this flow builder will come for admin exam. Like that.
For admin exam?
Yeah. So I answered yes because we have these concepts, right?
Yeah, so this is a point and click configuration type of thing, right? There may be some questions. So I'm really sorry, like I have done admin exam nearly 6 years back. I don't know how about now, but there may be some questions expected from flows.
Okay. So one person asked, like, I would like to see an example of flow in Visualforce page. So we can contact them personally, maybe after this demo.
Yeah, so there is a tag called flow:interview on your flow name. That is the tag.
Okay.
You can use it in your Visualforce page and then you can embed.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Keep posting your questions to our mail. You can contact us. And one person asked, like, where is the trial mix link? We can share it in a chat, right?
Yeah, I will post it now.
Okay. And another question, like, how to create a pass flow in the flow builder?
Past flows.
Pass
Just now
flow.
I showed it, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not a separate builder you can develop. It's available as an action or a button option in the flow. Whatever you flow you build, right? Let me show one thing quickly.
Yeah. That will be helpful.
Yeah. So in the screens, right? Wherever screen you are, you have the control navigation. You can pass it from there. If you can use the pass option. If you remove it, you won't see that in the flow. Like if I click on this flow, you see the pass button right now. Because of the control navigation, you provide that option. If you remove that option, you won't see it. And to see this pass notification, you should go to the settings, process automation setting, and you have to enable let users pass the flows. And the one more setting we saw is the enable lightning runtime for flows.
Okay. Does flow have governor limits?
Yeah, flow do have, it will follow whatever governor limits that the DML operations do, right?
Yeah.
With the fetching or whatever DML operation we do, the same applies for flow as well. Because
Okay.
it's like it's a completely same version of whatever customization we do in a point and click configuration, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that do applies.
How to create a lookup field in the flow? Like,
So you want to add a lookup flow,
lookup
lookup field in a,
field. Yeah.
yeah, that is also possible.
Okay. Yeah. So you
If
can.
you go to the screen component, screen list of component input elements are there, right? You'll have lot of things like pick list, multi-pick list, password, lookup, URL, everything is there. I'm just
Okay.
covering few things, but you can just work around. Yeah.
Yeah. Does it support bulk update?
Bulk update.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Bulk.
can do with the flow. If something is not possible with the screen elements, right? You can do the apex action, like invocable method we use for the process builder, right? So the
Yeah.
same thing you can do even for get records. You can only fetch one record with the condition, right? Not one record, like whatever condition that is met, only those record can be fetched in the get record component. But if you want something other than that, some more complex functionalities is needed, you can go with the apex action. That
Okay.
is also possible. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kamaji. I have sent a link for the feedback. Please do submit a feedback, and we will contact you soon with the participation certificate is the memory of Women in Tech Group. And also, you can ask us questions to our email ID. We will post our email ID in the chat. You can ask us and you can get the concepts more clear if you are not clear with this demo. Some concepts may be missed, and you can contact us anytime. And please do give your feedback, and we will send you the winners list also through that mail.
Yeah, I have shared the trial mix link as well for
Okay.
practice.
Can you access this feedback link, anyone?
Yes.
Okay.
I think some participants are waiting for questions.
Oh.
Vijay Shankar.
Yeah, the link is accessible.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Arindam Das, but I think he didn't connect the audio.
Yeah, we have one more question from Monica.
Yeah, okay. Hey, Monica.
Hi, Monica.
Hi. Hi. Actually, do we need to test the flows?
You mean the debug option right now I showed, or
Apart from that,
apart from the debug option, you can use for testing your flow before distributing it.
okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. So I have another question, like in Einstein bot, can we call flows?
Yeah, I saw that option is available, but I'm not pretty sure about it, but we will check that later offline.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Sure, that's a good question.
Everyone has posted the question really very well, and it shows they are very interactive with our presentation. Thank you so much, everyone. And also, I want to announce that our upcoming meetup will be of mock interview about Salesforce, so anyone can join. The prerequisite for the meetup is you should attend the online test. It will be both for admin as well as developer. So there is two category, either admin can attend or also a developer can attend. So it is not mandatory that freshers only should attend the mock interview. Both freshers as well as experienced person, like those who want to switch the jobs to some other company, they can also attend these interviews. Mock interview kind of session. You will get the mark once attend this online test, and after that we can discuss the solutions and the correct method to deliver those answers more effectively. And anyone can join. You can also advise us how to answer the questions in the interview, so anyone can join. So, and also we are having some contest. So the contest is about we will send you the detailed contest in our upcoming event link. So follow us our page, and you will get the participation certificate with the memory of our Women in Tech group. And that certificate you can find the QR code to follow our group, and we will announce these bags, winners, and everything in your email ID. And also I will keep posting on the Twitter, LinkedIn, and the social medias. Definitely, we will reach you the winners. Thank you so much for attending.
Bhavadharni, I think one more question
Okay, yeah.
is there about using the validation rules in Flow.
Mm-hmm.
So validation rule or trigger errors, right? Whatever we use, let me show quickly, share it and show you.
Yeah.
Let me go to the object. So right now what I did is the name, this name field as required. So that's why we face that fault message, right? We can also do with the validation rule. I just made it as required. We can remove this and then do the validation. So we are done with the validation. Now let's go to the home page. Sorry, I have the validation name, right? So this is how it works. Whatever you have, the prevention, either a validation rule or trigger, you will have all those in the fault message. If I'm using the object variable directly in the screen element, like if I go to the screen, right, this is actually right now it's a text. If I use the object record itself directly, the variable, then it will throw the error directly in the field wherever it is, like the top of the page or the field name itself, like that. So yeah, that's it from my end.
Hi Kamachi, I think there is another one participant, Vasant Kumar, raise up the hand. I think he wants to ask some the questions to you.
Okay. Hi,
Vasant Kumar. Vasant Kumar, can you please unmute your?
Yeah, hi. Hi Meenakshi. I have a few questions related to flow. I have a scenario called, let's say I have a multi-pick list. In the multi-pick list, we have a value called A, B, and C. And if you're doing, we need to field update based on another object. I'm having existing object which has record and the multi-pick list value as A. Now we're going to do field update. Once the field update is done, then the multi-pick list value should be B and C. I don't want to remove A.
Okay.
So is that possible in flow just to capture the existing value present in the multi-pick list field?
With the screen element, right, the multi-pick list element is there. With that, it is not possible. If you want to go with some LWC embedded in the flow, this is possible. Something
Okay,
you can handle it with the controller.
Okay, no, I'm not a developer. I'm just admin. I'm just trying to configure within the flow.
So with the screen element, it is not possible. You can do some workaround, but let's discuss offline. It will take some time to understand the requirement and then answer.
Sure.
Thank you for the question, Vasan.
Yeah, so regarding this,
And TJ, another one person.
Before we go further, so we have another one question on the chat. Like, can we achieve two-way integration using flows?
Yeah, we can achieve it through platform events. You can trigger with the flow and communicate with the external system.
So the question is by Vikas Kumar. So I think like Vikas Kumar, you should have got the answer. So now we have one more question from TG. We are not sure about his full name.
EJ, okay.
Hello, Kamachi.
Hello.
Yes,
Hi.
you show some hi. You show some validation rule, right, for the flow.
Exactly.
So doing the flow process, it shows the exception message, but even though it's creating the record, right, without the name.
No, it won't create because we have the exception, right? If we have the fault message, the transaction will be stopped.
Okay.
I mean, it will be rolled back. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
okay, everyone is asking about the winners. So we will pick the random participants using random name picker, and we will contact you through your Gmail because you have submitted the feedback. So we will pick your email ID from that feedback form, and we will contact you soon for these packs to get the addresses, and also for the people who have shared a lot about our post, and someone has shared in a more creative way in social media, and we will reach you soon. And there is some big contest is waiting on the next meetup. It's about the photographic contest, and you have to show some creativity which is related to Salesforce, and keep waiting, and please stay tuned on our social media links. So we will post the upcoming meetups that will be more interactive, and the prize will be the cash prize. So it's not just a swags or some kind of products. So the prize will be the cash prize. So keep attending, and this is sincerely to motivate every audience to learn the Salesforce, not just for distributing the prices. Thank you so much, and thanks for your valuable time. And thanks, Kamachi, for delivering such a wonderful session. It was very helpful and it was very informative for the beginners to the experienced person. I really appreciate your efforts, and we have faced a lot of difficulties in between the chat, but I'm sincerely thankful for everyone who has joined. Thanks
Yeah,
for
thank you, Pradhani.
yeah,
Thank you,
thanks
everyone.
for joining. Bye. We will see you in the next meetup.